Hello, Potato. I thought today we could play tourist and just take a little wander around Old Town Sacramento and look at the little touristy shops. And I think there's some interesting things there to check out. So let's go down and do that. Just kind of a rambly little walk around video. I do see though from up here, the Rio City Cafe has closed. Don't know if it's remodeling, but it does not appear to be in operation at the moment. But there'll be plenty of stuff down there to check out. Let's go down there and do that. What better way to start out a visit to Old Town Sacramento than going to the Sacramento History Museum? I've never actually been in here before, but according to this banner over here, you can see Sacramento in a can. Sacramento? Sacramento? Don't know, but it's like it's the Campbell Sacramento story, so it'll be sponsored content, which is, not sponsored content for me, but sponsored content for them. So let's go check out the Sacramento History Museum. So we are now inside the Sacramento History Museum. You can learn about the history of Sacramento. Apparently, you can watch Flat Howard on TikTok. Or I guess you can watch Real Howard on TikTok. So we have a section here about the Sacramento Bee, which is the local newspaper for those who aren't local. And it looks like the History Museum has a gold YouTube button. I can't even get 1,000 subs, and they have a gold YouTube button. Well, it is a museum. Going over here into the Bee, which also apparently doubles up the gift shop. We'll check that out as well. But yeah, you can see how they used to print the local newspaper, or the Sacramento newspaper. And then in the gift shop we have flowers and toys, and probably have to come back and get a pin and an ornament if they have one. So we have some just kind of various items from Sacramento history. We got some medical stuff here. An old doctor's bag. Is that a Derringer? Old rifle, fire helmets, when Sacramento flood, which is why Old Sacramento is actually raised up. And you can go on underground tours, but we're not going to be doing that today. V. Aubrey Neesham. Did he found the museum? Father of Old Sacramento and this museum. Some awards the museum has won. Place to fill your water bottle, that's good. Some more information on the fact that this part of the city is raised up. A city on stilts. I think probably a lot of people should pay attention to how Sacramento did that, because that may be a skill that comes in very important in the next decade so for huge portions of our planet. Moving into here, we have, I don't know what that is. Is that, must be something agricultural. Oh, I think it's sideways because that's a seat. So it's probably pulled by a horse. Oh, was it for harvesting? Was it for tilling up the land? Well, anyways, we have come over to the Campbell's area where you can see Sacramento history in a can. Got V8 and the Campbell's twins. Lots of the Campbell's kids. Look, it's all those cups that come in those gift sets that you get for Christmas and never actually open. I mean, after time, anything becomes interesting and collectible. We have kitchen. You can see like a selection of it's like old magazine ads, presumably mostly for Campbell's, if not all for Campbell's. More, Mama. Beef noodle, the newest of Campbell's soups. What a different world it was when people would like be excited over the newest Campbell soups. It's a new Toy Story and Johnny Quest, but like that's like the rebooted early 21st century Johnny Quest. That's why it's all holographic and says Cartoon Network on it. Grilled cheese and tomato soup. Now, I would have done a video on that. When does that mean? I'm assuming it's fairly old, but it does have a pull top, which means it isn't necessarily that old. Yeah, I'd have done a video on that. I have low expectations on it, but I would absolutely have done a video on that. Barrel cactus soup. I don't know, I feel like maybe not so much on that. Oh, I remember these. Not necessarily this one, but that's a little radio. Back in the like 80s and 90s, they would make, I think I had like either a Coke or a Pepsi one. They would make little can like shaped radios. And I remember I definitely had a soda one, but I think there were also like beer ones. There were obviously Campbell's soup ones. Hey, you're not a Campbell's kid. You're the pickle guy. What are you doing here? We have some more Campbell's memorabilia here. It's like mostly dolls. This one in particular, I think those eyes are creepy. What do you think of those eyes? They're just too big. They're too bugged out. And over here we have toy cars. I never really associated Campbell's soup with Sacramento, but apparently there's some connection there that I was totally unaware of. If I read the little signs back there, it would probably make it a little clearer. Oh, I guess that is our connection there. They have a plant on Franklin Boulevard. I was, again, just totally unaware. Okay, so it's a McCormick Reaper. So it's a Reaper. It's pretty grim. We have found ourselves in the Arbanet and V Glide Miller Gallery. A city council member, World War II hero, business leader, and a supporter of local arts and history programs. So we should probably find some interesting arts and history here in this part of the museum. The Old Tavern. That sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know why. Presumably it was a business that was here. Of course, get yourself on a comic cover, I think probably from a past comic book themed exhibit. They had some stuff in the gift shop that was kind of comic booky themed. Meet May Willers, that M.A. Willery, whose 150-year-old time capsule reveals an extraordinary life of an ordinary Sacramento child. So it's Woolsey, not Woolery, Woolsey, May Woolsey.
Select English or Spanish. Seleccione inglés o español.
Oh, it's a whole talking thing.
English.
Mae Hollister Woolsey was a bright, artistic, and social young girl who lived in Sacramento in the 1870s.
So this would be Mae Woolsey's trunk here, and the items they found in it. A doll, got looks like some squares from maybe a quilt, her drawings, all from a little girl who passed away from encephalitis. Of course, part of the history of Sacramento is going out on the town, and we do have some outfits from going to the show. Floods ruined Sacramento's first theater just after 3 months, but nothing can dampen this city's love for theater and the performing arts. So yeah, they still have a couple big performing art theaters in the city over there, actually by where we go to Sac Anime. Then we have just kind of the normal detritus you find in history: bottles, shaving stuff, Dunlaps. Crown and scepter, hand sculpted by Gravitas Jewelers in sterling silver. When is it from? 1991. Which, you know, to me it doesn't seem like that long ago. But to people watching this, yeah, it was like 30 years, wasn't it? Here we have an exhibit created by the Shingle Springs Miwok Indians about Nisenan and Nisima Pewinan people descend from Nisenan, Miwok, and Maidu peoples. So, some of our local indigenous tribes. You have information about their culture. Yeah, I'm not going to comment on any of this stuff because I don't really know anything about it, and anything I say would sound ignorant. Instead, we'll just enjoy looking at it. Scents along the trail. Overland routes to the California gold fields began in Missouri, taking thousands of gold seekers about 18 weeks to make the over 1,500-mile trek. Whether traveling Sierra Nevada or through Death Valley, immigrants needed to be well equipped to survive the dangerous journey. Many were not so lucky. Using your nose, can you guess some of the scents encountered by travelers along the way? This is great for video because you can smell along with me. Let's check it out. Kind of a sweet smell. What do you think?
I already did them. So. Oh. You ready?
Yeah, I have no idea. It's coffee. Okay. Why does it smell sweet?
I don't. That's
All right. Next up. I'm not smelling anything.
Yeah, I didn't get much either.
It's pine. I think they're out of their pine scent, perhaps.
Scents don't really know.
Purchased for 25 cents per pound. So, okay, it's got to be tobacco then, right? Or no?
This is the only one I got a scent off of.
Oh, definitely getting a strong scent off of it. Definitely familiar. It's a leaf. No, it's tobacco. Okay. I guess like non-cigarette-y tobacco. Saddle, shoes, and holsters. Okay, so it's got to be leather, right? Very faint, but I'm going to go with leather. Based on the clue, at least. There we go. It is, in fact, leather. We have a map of the mining districts of California. Just basically tells you what each of these symbols on here. I mean, it's a relief map too. It's raised up. You really don't need that dialogue, but Sassoon Bay, Sacramento River. So we're up here right now, near Sutter's Fort. So it's sort of the opposite of like when I was a kid, they always talked about California falling off into the ocean during an earthquake. Apparently, this is California as an island circa 1650. I guess before, it doesn't seem like it would move that much in only a couple hundred years, but who knows? Well, I guess people who were alive then know. Of course, you can't talk about California or Sacramento in particular without talking about the lure of gold. Funded by Bank of America, which is pretty on the nose, if you ask me. As anybody who's subject to the lure of gold, it is a bank. I have just some information on mining over here. I wonder if any of this stuff, they used to have at the Gold Country Fairgrounds, a mining museum. I wonder if any of this stuff came from there. An old assay office scale with all the little weights to make sure everything were perfectly weighed. And then we have an ingot mold. It takes a lot of gold to make a bar that big, and that's gonna be really heavy. Then we have this hydraulic gold mining, yes. So I wonder if some of the stuff was from the Gold Country Museum, because I think they had one of those in there. Of course, I imagine there's probably lots of those around. Got a gold panning device here. You're just not going to touch it because you're probably not supposed to, but just rock it back and forth, sort your silt through to here, and hopefully find some gold. We make our way through this spooky tunnel with things that look like they probably were supposed to have displays in them. There's something in there. See if we can shed some light on the matter. Appears to be a light. So whatever was being displayed in there is no longer. Apparently it's supposed to be the two main types of gold. Lode or hard rock and placer gold. So placer gold would be the stuff you mine out of the rivers, and lode or hard rock would be gold veins. Gold was discovered on Sutter's Mill at Coloma on the American River by James Marshall in 1848. 1852, California's annual gold production of 3,932,631 fine ounces reached an all-time high of $81 million. What would that be in today's money? 1864, the gold rush had ended. The rich surface and river placers were largely exhausted. Hydraulic mines were the chief source of gold for the next 20 years. 1884, the Sawyer decision prohibited the dumping of debris into the Sacramento and San Joaquin rivers. Don't worry, that'll be reversed. And their tributaries. The decision brought an end to destructive hydraulic mining. 1898, the first successful bucket line dredge was started on the Lower Feather River near Oroville. Gold dredging soon became a major industry that continued for more than 65 years. Which brings us to 1956. The mines of the Empire Star Mines Limited and Idaho Maryland Mines Incorporated at Grass Valley were shut down. The industry of hard rock gold mining completed nearly 106 years of operation in this locality. I feel like if you didn't mine all the gold in 106 years, you probably weren't doing a very good job. We have quizzes. Who was the typical miner who arrived in San Francisco in 1849, featured in this exhibit. So I think we have to press.
Yeah.
So, to push, so who do you think? So I think the answer is probably piles of rock and gravel.
Why are you pushing that?
It says to press both at the same time to see if they match. Guess not. I think this will light up if it's right. So, James Marshall?
Who's this guy?
Oh, you're right. What is the primary quality that set gold apart from other elements? Durability. What did gold dredges leave behind? Oh, that's piles of rocks and gravel. Who discovered that gold in the American River? That's Marshall. See, I read one of the signs. And finally, who was the Spaniard searching for gold in the New World? That'd be Shaft. Oh no, Hernando Cortez. Likely tying into the Campbell's thing, Sacramento's canning empire. We used to have a lot of canning go on up here, apparently. But I don't think a lot of them exist any longer. What? Is this someone's pajamas? Is there... There's no sign for what this is. I have no idea what this is or why it's here. I don't think it relates directly to any of this stuff. I guess it could be, maybe it's a canning worker's uniform? I don't know, it looks like pajamas to me. And then I think we have just one more section of this museum to look at. And that's this here pile of cans. Sacramento and... I would buy that. If that was for sale in the gift shop, I would buy a Sacramento and a can. That sounded painful. Yeah, they should sell these. Not relevant to this museum, but we do actually can see down here the turntable that connects to the State Railroad Museum. So that is where they would turn, well, I guess, first of all, it's where you'd turn the trains to get them into the different doors. But also just want to spin that train around to send it back the other direction, or need to cut another track over there. I'm going to guess they still use this. That line is still used for like tourist trains and stuff. And also, I mean, when they bring trains in and out of the museum. So I'm going to guess that actually still works. This museum has a pressed penny machine, so of course we need to get a couple pressed pennies. We're going to go for this one and this one. This one is the hand crank style. So I got it lined up for our first one. Got our coins in there. And I guess let her rip. And it gets a little tougher when you actually crushing the penny. And I went too far. I gotta go back all the way around. We'll jump here. All right, we reset. We're gonna get the Sacramento History Museum penny as well. Feel the penny getting crushed. And there we go. We got a couple shiny new souvenirs. Well, maybe not so shiny, but a couple new souvenirs for the collection. So that was the Sacramento History Museum. Cute little small museum. Gets you out of the hot sun, good air conditioning, and interesting stuff. Yeah, I do wish they would sold the Sacramento cans. But you know what? All that canned soup made me hungry. We need to find something to eat. There are a few places around here, so let's go see if we can find us a good one. So I think they actually do some like tourist train things from out here. You have to look into that and do a train tour, not have to drive all the way down to go on the Niles Canyon Railway. See if we can see something a little more local. Several interesting kind of touristy shops down here. Just thought it'd be fun to come and look at like shop windows and stuff. What is got going there? Oh, look at that giant pumpkin back there. If you can see it. Can you see it? It's pretty cool. It's like somebody's workspace. Well, that would not be good for your guitar.
Oh yeah, this one's for you, yeah. Yeah. She is. Very good girl. Very good girl.
Seeing as we're on the waterfront, it seems like a good time to go have some fish and chips. We tried railroad fish and chips. Claims to be world famous. I've never heard of them, but we'll try it and find out. I say the fish does look very well battered, very crunchy looking. Feels very crisp, but not super oily. Let's give it a try. It's very hot. Definitely fresh. Very fresh. Feels pretty flaky. Not oily. Not tough. Very, very kind of melt in your mouth kind of a feel to it. Very flaky. Very moist. And yeah, just when you put it in your tongue, it just kind of it just disintegrates when you put any pressure on it. So that's quite nice. Let's try the fries. Fries are very thin. Not bad. I mean, they're your fairly standard. A little seasoning on them, maybe.
I think so. Old Bay, maybe?
Feels more herby than that.
Seasoning salt?
Could be a seasoning. It could be like a light dose of like seasoning salt. I like the seasoning. Yeah, pretty good.
Of course, you gotta have your malt vinegar with it.
That's all you. Enjoy your malt vinegar.
Very good.
I will enjoy my fish and chips au natural. Or maybe some ketchup. Here we have the Delta King Restaurant, Hotel, and I guess Event Center. I don't think it ever actually leaves dock anymore, but it is, I believe, still a free-floating hotel, and you can stay there on a boat, like an old-timey river paddle boat, and that might be an experience to check out sometime in the future, but sadly not today. Look, you can see actually there the big wheel up in the wheelhouse. I guess that's why it's called a wheelhouse, isn't it? The bridge, is it a bridge on a boat like that, or is it actually a wheelhouse? Probably interchangeable. Actually, looks like we can go on to the boat, I guess, because they have a restaurant. So maybe we can take a little bit of a look around here. Unfortunately, we can't get over there to get like a really nice shot of the bridge, but they do have it chained off. I was going to say that's creepy, but I think it's actually like an electric eye there for people in wheelchairs. So yeah, we can take a little bit of a walk up here. The upstairs is restricted to hotel guests, so we will respect that. But we can take a look down here through the windows at the Delta Bar and Grill. It's not open right now. I think it's more of probably a dinner thing. It's the sort of place that doesn't put a menu outside so you can see it, but could be a neat place. Maybe someday we'll have to get a room here and for a night and check it out. You can get up to the front here though and get this much less impressive view of that bridge. Now the main idea behind this video was to really just kind of look around at the window displays, but I can't not go to stage 9 and G. Willikers and the candy shop that they do in between. So if you watch the state fair videos, this is the store that provides the gift shop area for whatever the little featured thing is, like World of Dragons a couple years ago. Last year I think it was animation. Stage 9 G. Willikers is where all that stuff comes from. And they always have really interesting stuff, including a pressed penny machine. I'll see if I have any quarters and pennies left. We have sriracha Yahtzee and cup noodles Yahtzee. But of course the big thing they have, and they have a lot of things. I may have to get a stage 9 penny. But the big thing they have is a lot of Disney goodies. And they're usually in this room here. And I think you can tell straight off what I want. So we have the new bride. That is the new bride. She's got the beating heart and the candelabra. That's quick. We have the pet cemetery. But yeah, they've had these actual pictures and stuff at the state fair before. Lots of Thomas Kincaids. Got Darkwing Duck up there. And they usually have some stuff from the parks. Actual ride props from Pirates of the Caribbean. This is just a replica, but I still want it. Of course, it comes to the price of these things. If you have to ask, you probably can't afford it. But, $25 each, but Star Tours, Tower of Terror. We've got Phantom Manor. I'm going to guess, yes, here it is. The Haunted Mansion. But you get, there's another Haunted Mansion there. But you get 4 for $75. And I think we actually saw this on display at the State Fair last year for sale. But see, if I buy this stuff, then I can't buy Lego, and things you are into can collide. Oh, that's the new bride statue. So not only do they have the new version of the bride in portrait form, but they have the new statue. Do they have the new checking statue? Because I'd love to see that in person. I think it's actually a little bit cheaper than the DisneyStore.com price too. We also have this very interesting Haunted Mansion Pimp Chalice. A couple of the stretching portraits. And then I like that one. And the skeleton dance is pretty cool. I saw another one with the hitchhiking. Oh, well, this one's adorable. I mean, you can't say no to that one. Oh, this one over here. That one. If I had infinite money and infinite wall space. And then, yep, an actual piece of wallpaper from the Haunted Mansion. And an actual piece of Madame Leota's film strip. I would have thought that would have been a bigger piece of film than that. But yeah, infinite money, infinite wall space. There is some of the lace curtain from the Haunted Mansion up there, from the art gallery section. But honestly, of these things, I kind of like the replica plaque, even though it's not a ride-used item. I kind of like that one the most. It just looks the nicest. I have been to this place a dozen times, and I never knew that Stage 9 had it downstairs. This is where they hide the real Disney stuff. This is the underground vault. They have ride vehicle. They have an animatronic armature down here. You have skipper hats. Part of the thatching from the tiki room. Oh, look at these. Carved wooden haunted mansion items. I think I actually remember seeing these, or at least a couple of them in the park, but the plaque is really awesome as well. And you get the little crate. Oh, wow. The more haunted mansion plaques. I'm wondering if I'll have to like blank the sound out on this because of the very loud copyright music down here. But got some Hollywood Tower Hotel logos. Wow, this is the tiki mugs from Trader Sam's. I've never seen the Haunted Mansion ones, any of them in person before. Because I never go down there at the right time and they're always like a queue for them. And then we have some that are more just like the geeky tiki style, like Wednesday Addams thing. Yeah, Mickey and Minnie. The I Lava You short. Sword in the Stone. Here's a big version. There actually was a small version of this upstairs that I didn't notice. I think it's in the video, but I didn't notice it. But of the ballroom scene from the Haunted Mansion. But like on actual canvas and framed. What did you find? The phone? A hotel phone? I mean, that's a unique thing. Disney World security hat. A skull target from the old shooting gallery. Wow. Theater seats from something. Another map. Haunted Mansion plaques with artwork by Denise Klett. Wow, those are really cool. It's a cool Alice. We saw that at the State Fair. I remember that.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's Steampunk Willie. A classic Tron machine is at. I was hoping it would actually be from like the Starcade, but you can't have everything, right? If you can't afford all the things down in the vault, they do have some tikis you can afford up here. They do actually have, okay, so those weren't the ones from the park then, because these are actually geeky tikis. And they do have a like whole selection of Haunted Mansion vaults. They have the stretching room. Yeah, they have Madame Leota. They have the Hitchhiking Ghosts. They have the clock. See how much is the Hitchhiking Ghosts. $40? You know, that's honestly not awful. They have the opera singer too, apparently, although she doesn't appear to have been summoned at this time. So look, it's something that's in the vault that I could theoretically actually afford. How much are the stretching room ones? The boxes aren't great, but $63. That's a little honestly a little bit more like what I expected. Part of any touristy town district is the candy shop. We have selections of gummies, of course, saltwater taffy. You always have saltwater taffy at these candy shops. And this runs from Stage 9 over into G. Willikers Toy Shop, which has a little model railroad mountain in the middle of it. And this has largely undergone some changes since it first opened. When it first opened, it was very much like traditional toys. I think they've gone much more into more modern and more like trend stuff. Because like originally they had like lots of model railroad stuff, and that stuff has been largely replaced with those kind of TikTok-y miniature displays and laser cut wood items. But it's still an interesting store. It's very interesting design inside. They used to have more train actually, because I think where the candy shop is now used to be more toy shop, and the train, I believe, ran all the way through there, or at least part of the train did. Because I think these windows here used to also be like train display. Oh look, they have Fugler blinds in paper instead of boxes. Interesting. Outside of G. Willikers, we have the giant Lego bar. This was on display at one point at the State Fair. Yeah, for back in 2007. I didn't think it was that long ago, but there you go. And the Rootin' Tootin' Shootin' Gallery is $3 to play. So you know what? We'll wait on that. But I believe over here I hear the dulcet tones of one Zoltar the Fortune Teller. So let's pay him a visit instead. I wonder if he's the same Zoltar they have at the State Fair, and like this is closed during that, or if they have two Zoltars. All right, Zoltar, what wisdom do you have for me today? The wisdom is it doesn't like my dollar. Let's try that again.
Cheer up, my friend, and listen to the proverb from Zoltar. A smile is worth 100 frowns in any market. Ah, yes, and lucky for you, the great Zoltar sees much happiness ahead for you. Go find it now, but don't run off too quickly. Zoltar has more to say for you, if you have a small gift for me.
What does Zoltar have for us today? You have not been wise with your money lately. Well, that is certainly true. It is important to reward yourself for your hard work, but you must learn that saving your riches now will pay off in the future. A fool and his money will soon part. Remember this next time you receive a sum of money and try to manage it wisely. I would argue that giving Zoltar my money probably isn't managing it wisely. We found ourselves another pressed penny machine, and it's clearly an old one because it's got Arnold Schwarzenegger on it, and he was the governor over 20 years ago. So totally not relevant now, but we're going to go for the old Sacramento one with the boat, not the one with the horses. So it's set up right. Let's give it a crank. Oh, this was a tough one. And there's our, I guess that'd be the Delta Queen, or Delta King, sorry. The Delta King in penny form. So go through and look at all the touristy shops and windows. Got all your Sacramento and California and San Francisco shirts and stuff. Got, looks like we have some Native American moccasins and posters. I think in a recent video I commented about how postcards weren't really a thing anymore, but I guess I was wrong. They are still a thing. Boxcar Eats has Dole Whip, Tillamook ice cream, and vanilla and chocolate frozen yogurt. Got a shop full of kites and spinners. A lot of the shops out here are fairly narrow. Copper jewelry. and then a disused restaurant. It's weird when you think about like a place that you are from and you see like the tourist shops, like why would anybody want a Sacramento shirt? And it's like, well, I mean, I could conceivably see myself buying a Monterey shirt, and if you live in Monterey, that's totally be a weird thing to want to own. What is this? Mary Gregory, a Gold Rush entrepreneur. Okay, why not? That's what I was reading. I just don't feel energized enough to walk all the way down there to read it closely. They have another Zoltar, but we already did Zoltar today. We're not gonna fall for that again. Plus, you walk in one of those places, you have to buy like 2 pounds of candy, and it's like, you know, a month's mortgage for that. Yeah. We found the Sacramento Visitor Center, but it's not open. I guess was it 4:15 on a Wednesday is not the day they want to be open late. But you can join in living history the second Saturday of each month. The Bear and Crown British Pub. What? Didn't know they had a British pub down here. What do they have for offer? What are their mains? Fish and chips. For considerably, they come with minted peas. With minted peas? Is that the same thing as mushy peas?
No.
That's a different thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, got my hopes up there. Steak frites, beer mac and cheese, chicken tikka masala,
Should try them next time.
cottage pie. What do we have? We have Scotch eggs. We may have to come back and give them, and poutine. Never tried either. We may need to come back and try the Bear and Crown, but still kind of full off the fish and chips, to be honest. Didn't seem like a lot, but it was very filling. Yep, let's put this back on the list of places to come check out. Assuming they don't mind, like, recording. Always a question. Here's the Vampire Penguin. Shaved snow desserts and creamy ice cream. Do you want a Vampire Penguin? Let's check out Vampire Penguin then. It's another good time for something cold and refreshing. So from Vampire Penguin, we ordered the Snow Tiger, Thaiger. It was Thai tea flavored snow with Oreo crumbles and condensed milk. And they are not stingy on the condensed milk or the Oreo crumbles, it seems. Let's get a bite of that if you want to dig in there. Well, can definitely taste the tea. Can taste the Oreo. Honestly, this condensed milk kind of gets lost in the strength of the tea. The tea snow is really strongly flavored.
Yeah, it is, but it's good.
We are really fucking fighting.
There's another one of these locally in like a less touristy place. We have to go check them out and try some of their other flavors. Very light, but for essentially shaved ice, it's unusually flavorful. I'm guessing because they freeze the tea and then shave it as opposed to adding syrup to a already shaved ice.
Very refreshing.
Yeah, it's pretty warm today, so we're gonna cool down a little with this and then check out, just wander around a little bit more around Old Town Sacramento. I guess it's called the Old Sacramento Waterfront now. Well, it looks like the shooting gallery in Geolookers isn't the only shooting gallery around. How much is this one? Also, $3. I'm kind of tempted just to buy a token though, because I do collect tokens, but I won't. I will restrain myself. Go past art gallery, and we have the subterranean round table. Still have the thing to keep you from bonking your head. But it looks like I believe they used to have carpet down there. I think they've remodeled it, which is probably good. Sock City for all your sock needs. I mean, can't go to Spatula City, so. Here we have the old Sac staple Evangelines, which was, 50 years old last year. 50 years of selling novelty goods, and of course, they have Evangeline's Costume Mansion, which I'm very surprised to see open in late spring. That's normally not open like till September, but maybe some other time we'll go in there. We're really just kind of trying to look at stuff right now. Look at all the little touristy displays. I would have liked a coffee, but unfortunately Steamers closes at like 3 in the afternoon. I may have said that already, but I need coffee. We didn't look at the outside before, but here's the outside of Stage 9's Disney Art Gallery. Guess we need to come down here and try some of these restaurants. Have Willie's Burgers, Bear Paw. That is the one in Citrus Heights, yeah. So it looks like it's mostly shoes, sandals.
Yeah.
There's a Bear Paw outlet that we go by periodically, and I've never been 100% sure what Bear Paw was, and now I'm like 80% sure. Got another candy shop with the per quarter pound candies. Another classic, the Garden of Enchantment store is just like packed full of all sorts of neat things, new age things, tarot decks, crystals. Not going in there because I will end up walking out with like crystals and a tarot deck and probably some more incense. But it's a really cool shop. Maybe someday we'll go in, but not today. There are worse smells to find in Sacramento, but it smells very heavily down here of cannabis. But hey, that's part of the fun. You know, another thing there are a lot of down here is tattoo shops. Like more than I would expect. The Firehouse Restaurant is I think I ate here like one time. Like years and years and years ago. There are no more shop windows that side of the street, although there is an escape room over there called, I guess, Can You Escape? But over here, we found a coffee shop, and we've been looking for some coffee, so let's go past these Peruvian products. And they're bringing in the chair, so I feel like we may have just missed it. So the people at Terra Forte Coffee took pity on us and served us coffee. And so I thought I'd try something interesting sounding. I got a tiramisu latte. Like I get some sort of Torani syrup, and then of course milk and espresso. So let's give that a try. I mean, yeah, it's got very strong. The coffee flavor is super strong in this. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a tiramisu kind of a vibe going to it. And then she went a little less daring, got this iced mocha. How was that?
Okay.
Sure.
Here, let's
Trade?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's the iced mocha. Good chocolate, not. It's dark, but not too dark.
bit of the coffee to the bottom, so maybe it's
A little chocolate milky.
yeah.
Yeah, see, on mine, the coffee seems to all be staying to the top.
Yep.
What did you think?
It's
a little,
good. It's
little
good.
strong for you?
Yeah.
I think mine, because the milk, he stirred it up a bit, but the milk's kind of all to the bottom, so I think a lot of the sweetness from the Torani syrup is kind of hanging out towards the end there. I've stood in shadow, and now I'm standing in front of a loud truck. This is going really well. We only have like one more block here to check out, so let's enjoy our coffees on the go and check out the last block of the Old Sacramento Waterfront. I've always called it Old Sac, so it's finding out it actually has a proper name is something else, you know. Is it a coffee shop though? Coffee project? I mean, it's got chairs out in front, so that implies coffee shop. God, here's the project church. Yep, we know. So yeah, when steamers, I've never been to steamers and still haven't. But see a blueprint. So is it connected? I think this is connected to the church.
Yep. Sure is.
Well, I have to do some research on that church before I decide if I want to give them money. Oh, this probably would have been an interesting window, but they're closed. Closed and shuttered. And then coming up to the end here, have, I think it says Eco Joyous, which jewelry and such. Looks like some cute things. Not so much from the window, but interesting things inside. And then there are actually, I guess, some shops inside there, but it looks like this is already closed up for the day. We are back in that very, very strong cannabis smell, though. So there's that going for us, which is nice. Finally, another giant candy shop, which appears to have shut for the day, and a comedy club, which is probably just opening. And with that, we will finish our little tour of the old Sacramento waterfront. And just, come play tourist for a day, look around, act like there's all these things that I haven't seen before. There are some things I haven't seen before, so it's not totally off. But it ended up being a little bit longer than I expected it would be, because I wasn't planning on going to the Sacramento History Museum, but that was pretty cool. I really didn't know that was there. I'd never been to it. So that was neat. That was new. And then, tried a new place to eat, tried some new coffee, had a good time. Hope you had a good time too. Hope you enjoyed it or found it interesting or entertaining. If you did, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. I do thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.